Hey everyone, Astro Commander here. Today I am bringing you a Toon Yu-Gi-Oh deck profile. This is one of my favorite decks to play in this entire game. I've had some luck with it at locals, and if you want an in-depth tutorial on any of these cards or how to play the deck, feel free to let me know in the comments. This is just going to be a quick, easy deck profile for you guys. So here we go. I run 3 copies of the Toon Blackluster Soldier. With this card, you can send up to his level of Toon monsters to the graveyard and special summon them from your hand. You can also target one card on the field and banish it, but you cannot use both those effects at the same turn. So if you summon, or if you want to attack with him, you will not be able to banish anything, but if you don't need to banish, you can attack either way. This is also the only monster in this deck that does not have the summoning sickness that the rest of the deck has. This deck card can attack the turn it is summoned, but all the other Toon monsters has to wait a turn from the turn it's summoned to be able to attack. And if your opponent, the fun thing about this deck, if your opponent controls no Toon monsters, all your cards can attack your opponent directly. So that's something to keep in mind. This is a direct attack deck. This deck is preferable to go second, but if you have to go first, there are some plays to help you kind of end your opponent's turn quicker so you can get going second. I then run 3 copies of the Toon Dark Magician. This card, when you summon him, he is able to search a Toon spell or trap card from your deck, or he can summon a Toon monster from your deck except for himself. He cannot attack the turn he's summoned, but this is a great card that helps you search what you need or summon another monster to get another body on the floor. Next, I play 3 copies of Red Eyes Toon Dragon. This card, when he is summoned, allows you to summon 1 Toon monster from your hand, ignoring summoning conditions. So this is a good way, once again, just to add more bodies to your board and be able to go into rank 7 plays, or you can synchro off what you need. There's multiple things you can do with this. Link off. This is a good way to just get extra bodies on the board because you can summon another Toon monster from your hand with him. I then play 3 copies of the Toon Harpy Lady. Toon Harpy Lady, as long as you control Toon Kingdom, you can special summon her from your hand, and when you do, you can destroy 1 spell or trap card your opponent controls. So, if you're going second and you're trying to build your board and you don't want to cause any disruptions from your opponent, use this, destroy the back row before you actually go in for your plays. I then play 1 copy of Toon Cyber Dragon. This card is just an extra body on the board. If you're going second, you can play this if you have monsters, or basically if he's already built his board, you have an extra way to just get a card out. It also baits out a lot of your negates that negate a summon. So he's a good one to keep on the field. I then play 3 copies of the Blackstone of Legend. This card, since Toon Red Eyes is technically still a Red Eyes monster, this card can still search it by attributing itself, and you can summon the Toon Red Eyes to your field off of this card. So that's a good play to remember. I then play 2 copies of Fenrir, because Fenrir is just another free level 7 summon that you can summon at the beginning of your turn. If you don't have Toon Cyber Dragon, you can summon Cashier Fenrir the same way. So, another good going second play. I then also have Nibiru and Lava Golem in here as board breakers, because if your opponent builds up a huge board and you're trying to go second, you can use either Nibiru to wipe all the board or Lava Golem just to get rid of 2 of their problematic monsters. You can then use the comic hand that I run in the deck to steal back either of these cards and get you a huge beat stick on the field that you can just swing into them, because Comic Hand turns your monsters into Toon monsters. So any big monster, you can steal that and use that as a beat stick to attack directly. And that is it for the monster cards. I only run spells in this, so I run 3 copies of Toon Kingdom. This is your main go-to spell card in this deck. Without this card, this deck kind of flops. But in this deck, we have plenty of search and draw power to get you into this card. But this card, you have to banish 3 cards to activate this card. But once it's activated, you're able to banish the top card of your deck to protect your Toon monsters every time they're about to get destroyed. So, good protection effect, and it's the main staple of the deck. I then play 3 copies of Toon Table of Content. Toon Table of Contents allows you to just search for a Toon card in your deck, anything that has Toon in the word. So that's one of your search powers. Your main search power, though, is the 3 copies of Toon Bookmark. This allows you to add any Toon World or card that mentions it from your deck to your hand, except for another copy of Toon Bookmark. When this card is added to your hand, or when this card searches, and it's in the graveyard, if Toon World were to be destroyed, you can banish this card from the graveyard and stop that card from getting destroyed. I then play 3 copies of Toon Page Flip. If you control Toon World, you can activate this card. You basically show your opponent 3 different cards, they randomly pick one, and then you can special summon that card to your field and then shuffle the rest back into your deck. So a quick way to get bodies onto the floor. I then run 2 copies of Comic Hand. This is the card I was telling you guys about when I was talking about Lava Golem and Nibiru. This card is able to be equipped to any monster your opponent controls, snatch it to your side of the field, and it becomes a comic monster or Toon monster, okay? So with that, you can take it, and still with it being a Toon monster, it allows you to attack directly just like every other Toon monster. If you need a little bit extra burn damage, we run 1 copy of Shadow Toon. Basically, you target 1 monster your opponent controls and inflict damage to your opponent to the attack of that monster. So that is just another damage burn if you need it. This next card is a fun tech card, okay? If you deal damage to your opponent directly, you destroy all monsters on the field. So Original Bamboo Sword is a fun card to play due to the effect I was just telling you about. Basically, he doesn't gain any attack or defense, but if you make it a direct attack, which the deck does only that, it destroys all monsters your opponent controls. So I say that's a pretty fun effect to add into the deck. And then just for some more of the search and draw power in the deck, you play 1 Terraforming to help find your Toon Kingdom. That's clearly the only target for that, but it's also the only way your deck can operate. And then for more of the draw power, you have Pot of Extravagance and 1 Pot of Prosperity, because your extra deck is just kind of here for supplemental play. There's not really anything you have to have out of it. This is all based on just overpowering your opponent and attacking directly. But with that being said, that ends the spell cards. We are moving into the extra deck now. I play 3 copies of Red Eyes Flare Metal Dragon. He is a good card for burning your opponent if you're going first. You can summon him out, and his effect does stack for the burn of 700 damage per effect. So every time your opponent activates an effect, 500, sorry, my bad. 500 damage. So every time your opponent activates an effect, he does his 500 damage. So if you stack all 3 somehow, you can do 1500 damage per effect your opponent activates. So good card to keep in mind. Then I play 1 copy of Dark Arm the Dragon of Annihilation. He's mainly a late game play that you can summon if you have your extra dragon monsters in the graveyard. You can special summon him. And then play 1 number 41 Babushka in case the game gets a little too slow. I have the 1 number 11 Big Eye, which is just another snatch from your opponent. You can pick a monster, take it from him. 1 number 15 Gimmick Puppet Grinder. This is just a monster destruction. If the opponent's playing some XZ monsters, it's a good level 8 or rank 8. I then also played the number 100 package with Dragublion, Hope Harbinger, and number 100 Numeron Dragon. Just another way to help overwhelm and OTK your opponent. I play Typhon and Zeus. These are kind of your generic staples for XZ's decks. Board wipe, effect negation. This card is fun because you can play a Cyber/Harpy Lady in this deck because you can use Harpy monsters and turn them into the tuners. So the Toon Harpy Lady that's in the deck can be turned into the tuner, allowing you to actually be able to summon this card. So that's a fun one to add in here. And then last, it wouldn't be a Toon Deck or Pegasus deck without having some form of Relinquished. This one is you can use with your Blackstone of Legend. If it gets negated and you just have a dead card on the field, you can use that to link off into this. And then you can use this card to snatch any card from your opponents that this card points to. So they have to kind of watch what they play, otherwise they might be able to play into this. But that ends the deck profile. I hope you guys enjoyed this. Like I said earlier, if you guys want a full tutorial on how to play the deck, just let me know. I'll go more in depth into it. But until next time, thank you for checking this, and I hope you can like and subscribe.